Over the last 2 years, people have been moving all over the country, from Colorado to Florida, Florida to Colorado, Colorado to Texas, Texas to Colorado. Lots of people have been moving all over the country because of the ability to now remote work and the desire to really build a lifestyle around what is important to you and yours. And people really looked at all different types of things, but one of the main things that they looked at was cost of living. And that is why Fort Collins and Colorado have a lot of people coming into the community from places like parts of Texas, New York, Boston, Seattle, California, where maybe it was a little bit more expensive and they could actually afford to buy a house here and raise their family and really get more bang for the buck. But then you saw people moving from Colorado to Montana or Colorado to Nebraska, Kansas, maybe where the cost of living was a little bit less expensive. And we've done a couple cost of living videos over the last couple of years, but over the last 3 or 4 months, inflation has been running wild, and not just housing has gotten out of control as far as prices, but groceries, gas, vehicles, different things have really increased the cost of living in all localities. So I wanted to put together today's video, the cost of living in Fort Collins, Colorado, 2022. So I hope you guys enjoy. My name is Patrick Soukup with Soukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we are licensed realtors here in the state. And as much as we like making these YouTube videos, we like more working with clients who are buying, selling, investing here in Northern Colorado. So if you're considering moving to Northern Colorado, please reach out, call, text, or email us. We've got your back when it comes to everything living in Northern Colorado and Fort Collins, Colorado. So without any further delay, let's jump into today's video, living in Fort Collins and Northern Colorado. Enjoy. Alrighty, so in today's video, like videos of past, the other two cost of living in Fort Collins videos, we are going to discuss the cost of housing, both buying and renting, the cost of insurance for homes, auto and health insurance, groceries, gas, transportation, utility costs, and then some other ancillary costs that maybe not necessarily are completely Fort Collins and Northern Colorado focused. Most of them will be, but also no matter where you live, you're probably gonna have to pay for a cell phone, some TV, internet, but maybe some specific costs related to Northern Colorado. So starting with the elephant in the room, the cost of housing, which is really one of our biggest drivers here in Northern Colorado in regards to cost of living. When I last did this video in 2021, the median sales price of a home was $515,000 and interest rates were right around 3% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. Well, fast forward a year later, home prices have raised to about $650,000, about a 26% increase for the median sales price. And then interest rates have basically doubled to about 6% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. Now, when you buy a house, you put down a down payment and then you pay a mortgage. And the main part of that mortgage that will stay fixed for 30 years is your principal and interest. So in Fort Collins, if you put down between 5 to 20%, if you put down 5%, your principal and interest each month on a $650,000 house will be about $3,700. Now, if you put down about 20%, you will avoid private mortgage insurance, PMI, so your monthly payment will actually be a little bit smaller because you'll avoid that kind of insurance for the lender. But your payment for principal and interest will be $3,115. Now, when you buy a house, your mortgage is comprised of a couple different escrow accounts, your property taxes and your property insurance. And those are both going to be increasing as well because our property taxes are based off of our property values. The way that we calculate property taxes here in Colorado are based off of a mill levy and then a tax assessment rate. And the mill levy here in Fort Collins is about 94 mills, in which is 1 mill is for every $1,000 of value. And then from there, we actually have had a relief of our tax assessment rate from 7.15% in 2021 to 6.9% in 2022 and 6.85% in 2023. So it is a little bit of a help because the values have increased so much, but definitely they are going to increase pretty dramatically. Now, Larimer County reassesses their properties every 2 years. So the last time we had a properties assessed were for values up through June 30th for 2021 in 2022, June 30th of 2020, gave us our property tax values for 2021 and 2022. They just got reassessed as of June 30th, 2022 for property taxes owed in 2023 and 2024. So the property taxes we are paying this year are based off of the values from 2020, which was $455,000, and at 6.9% is about $2,700 per year for property taxes, or about $240 per month. Now that's going to increase pretty substantially once the property taxes get reassessed and the new values come into play in 2023. So the check that you write in 2024 for 2023, but the escrows you put into play during 2023 will have a pretty decent increase. So pay attention to that. But for right now, about $240 per month for property taxes. And property insurance as well is going to have a pretty decent increase because of the cost of construction and cost of labor. But for right now, for a house that's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,700 square feet on 0.17 acres on a 2-story built in 1987 is going to have an insurance of about $1,800 to $2,500 per year, depending on the shingle that is on the roof. Fort Collins, there is a new building code that requires any new roof to be put on with an impact resistant class 4 shingle. Now, talking with my insurance buddies, this gives about a 25% reduction in premium. So when we are working with clients on the purchase, and if we can get a new roof, we dang near try to, because, well, you can pay $2,500, or you could probably pay closer to $1,800 to $2,000, depending, again, on the age of the home, credit, bundle rates, lots of different factors. So property insurance, right around $175 per month is a safe bet. So your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and then PMI. And we also have, for single family houses, a lot of HOAs here in Northern Colorado, pretty minimal, but between $50 to $100 per year. You could expect to pay about $4,350 per month when you consider principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA, and PMI every month if you're putting 5% down on a median priced house of $650,000 with an interest rate of 6%. Now, if you put 20% down, that number drops pretty substantially to $3,600, but still pretty expensive if you're buying a median priced home here in Fort Collins. And again, that just depends on perspective, because a lot of people from California, it's a discount, or people from New York or Boston. But where we really need to see some increase is local incomes. We hope to see those increase. High paying jobs, wages, they're all increasing across the board. I just increased my assistant's pay close to 30%. So excited to see her make more money. You know, it's tough to write those checks, but pay in Fort Collins is definitely increasing, and we will see that across the board. They're actually considering a minimum wage right now, so we'll see if that gets legs or not. So there you have it. You're between $3,600 to about $4,300 per month if you want to buy a single family median priced home here in Fort Collins. But if you're not going to, you got to live somewhere. So how much does it rent cost for somebody who's looking for that exact house built in 1980, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,700 square feet here in Fort Collins? You could expect to pay about $2,700 per month for that rent, or about $675 per bedroom is a safe bet. Now, the cool thing about renting is you don't have to be responsible for property taxes or property insurance, but you would be responsible, and you should get renter's insurance if you were looking at that. So about anywhere between $150 to $200 per year, depending on the coverage that you get. So, you know, pretty fair. $2,700 to $2,800 or $2,750, you know, is a pretty safe bet. Now, you would be responsible for utilities, whether you buy or you rent. And here in Fort Collins, we have gas, electric, stormwater, wastewater, and drinking water as for our main utilities. There are some propane, some septic, but the majority that are in Fort Collins proper are going to have electric, gas, water, stormwater. You also have trash, recycling, and things of that nature, but some of that is paid for in that HOA. So we're not going to address trash or recycling at this point. So utility costs for electricity, water, stormwater, wastewater, you can expect to pay on average about $175 to $185 per month. Now this depends on the size of your house, how many people are in there, and your usage of both electricity and water. We do have peak usage time periods, which are of course the hottest times of the day. So if you have a basement, which I'm in right now, and you can go down there, turn off your air conditioning for a few hours, you can definitely save some peak usage rate increases. Now, during those summer months, we are not going to use our natural gas very much, well, because we have forced air furnaces for our heat during the winters. So during the summers, you can expect to pay anywhere between $20 to $40 per month, because our water heaters are a lot of them natural gas heated. So you do have a middle pilot light keeping that hot water warm. Or if you do have an electric water heater, you could also offset that, but your electricity would increase. So during the summer months, $20 to $40, and then during those winter months, $120 to $140 per month, but your electricity definitely decreases and your water usage decreases because you're not watering your lawn nearly as much. So they kind of offset. So probably every month between gas, electric, water, stormwater, probably around $200 is something that would be a fair estimate for your utility. But utilities don't really just stop right there. One of the main things that we live off of today is our internet. And we are fortunate that we are in Fort Collins, and now there is a municipal utility broadband fiber internet that is extremely affordable. We have gigabyte speeds here in my house, and we are paying with our router $69 per month. It's $59 and then $10 per month for our router. So pretty cheap as far as internet goes, which then that is where we go off of and have our YouTube TV for $65 per month. So between our TV and our internet, $120 per month. So not too bad as far as that goes. So gas, electric, everything combined, TV, internet, $320 per month for our utilities on top of our mortgage payment or our rental payment. Now we are in the thick of things with our kids, and we work out of the house. Today I'm working from home making this video, and my wife, she works off-site as well, occupational therapy. So we have childcare here in Fort Collins, and we have in-home daycare, we have preschools, we have facilities, we have nannies. And so for me, on our daycare side of things, we've kind of done of everything really. You could expect anywhere between $50 to $75 per kid per day of usage for daycare, in-home daycare, and then upwards, between $1,500 to $2,000 if they're at more of a facility for full-time 5 days a week. Now, if you are looking at doing a nanny here in Fort Collins, Northern Colorado, you could expect to pay anywhere between $18 and $25 per hour, and that nanny is going to be there probably between 8.5 to 10 hours, depending on when they can, mom and dad can come and go with work. And so that's something to take into consideration with your monthly expenses. We've got 3 kiddos, so we are in the thick of those expenses. Definitely not cheap, but we love our kids to death. So not going to change it for the world, but excited for when all of them are in preschool or in kindergarten, and we don't necessarily have those childcare costs anymore. And as I just said, we live in a community that really requires us to commute. My wife works in Northern Colorado, but she works in a facility just off of 34, and I work downtown. I drive a F-150 pickup truck that gets about 15 miles per gallon. Don't hate me, it's a family vehicle. Want to make sure my kiddos are safe. So an F-150 gets 15 miles per gallon, 7 miles per day, 1 gallon usage on average if I just go to and from work. And right now, gas prices in Northern Colorado are between $4.50 to $5 per gallon. Now, if you drive a more reasonable gas efficient car, let's just say 20 miles per gallon, the average American drives 12,000 miles a year. And this puts you between $2,700 to $3,000 per year, or $225 to $250 per month for gas usage here in Fort Collins. Now, I just recently did a video of living with only one vehicle in Fort Collins, and trust me, with the ability to remote work, there are a lot of families that are able to do that. For us, that we both work outside the house, it doesn't make too much sense, but Fort Collins is a platinum rated bike community with over 280 plus miles of trails and safe roads. So it is a completely friendly area. Now you do have colder winters with snow, and so maybe driving is available at that time, but potentially able to reduce some of the cost of insurance, the payment for your car, and gas if you were to bike more. And Fort Collins is completely able and available to do that. On top of that, The Transport, which is the public transportation arm of Fort Collins, City of Fort Collins, for the last 2 years has been free. Honestly, I didn't know this. Our last 2 videos did not have that, but I called in because they said, please call for rates. I called for rates and they said, oh no, actually Transport is free. Their usage is quite a bit down, but it is free to use Transport Fort Collins. So you have the Max Transit. They are really, really trying to get their public transportation going. So I think you could actually leverage public transportation a little bit more. And for right now, it is free. When it wasn't free, it really wasn't even bad anyways. It was $1.25 per pass per day, or $154 for the entire year. So really not bad at all, even when they were charging. But for right now, it's free, and I wish Fort Collins would just shout this, let everybody know. Maybe they did, and I just didn't see it. From there, we are going to be, me personally, I'm really bad about eating out when I'm at work. I'm there, I don't pack my lunch. My wife is phenomenal about it. She packs her lunch every day. She probably saves our family tons and tons of money. So thank you, Janae, for doing that. And you can blame me for kind of increasing our food costs on a monthly basis. But I go out to eat pretty much daily for lunch. I go to Illegal Pete's, I get a burrito bowl, which is without a tortilla and no extra add-ons or anything like that, and it's about $10. So really not too bad, but I could reduce that cost pretty dramatically if I would eat leftovers or bring my lunch daily. Now, today I took my team out to get Comet Chicken. There was 5 of us. We each got a meal. 3 of us got a drink, and it was, for me, it was $68 for the 4 of us to eat out for that. So, and when we go out to breakfast to First Watch, or we go to Urban Egg, which is awesome. Lots of great places to eat here in town and for breakfast. And we can expect with our family of 5, now granted Boone's not eating yet, but we can expect with our family of 4 that is eating probably to spend anywhere between $45 to $60 depending on if we got a pancake that day or coffee or anything like that. So right around that $50 to $80 for breakfast or lunch here in Fort Collins for a family of 4 or people of 4 that are going out to eat. And then for if you're going out to dinner and you're hitting up Cafe Vino, which is awesome. If you haven't been to Cafe Vino, I highly, highly recommend it. Cafe Vino has some of the best plates here in Fort Collins, most unique, some of the best tastes. The owners are foodies. They travel all over Europe. So if you haven't been to Cafe Vino, I would highly, highly recommend it. Check that out if you haven't already. But if you're going out to Cafe Vino or Jay's Bistro or Sunny Lubick Steakhouse, you could expect probably to pay anywhere between $100 to $250 per meal for a couple. And it just depends on if you're getting how many drinks you're getting, if you're going all out that night and you're getting steak and lobster. And so you could definitely expect to pay anywhere between $100 to $250 for a couple if you're going out between in Fort Collins here in Northern Colorado. So those are some going out prices. Now, what if you just completely eat in, don't go out, only eat your groceries, which you can definitely do, and I wish we were better at it, but we don't spend a lot of money in our family, but one of the things that we do spend money on is going out. But if you were just purely getting groceries on a monthly basis, we could spend anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500, and a lot of that is built from us going out and buying good, clean, fresh produce, fruits and vegetables. My wife loves it. That's why she's so healthy. That's why she's so fit. And so our bills are a little bit more expensive. But I would say for our grocery bill, we looked at it, and on average, we're paying about $1,200 to $1,500 for our family of 5 to survive and thrive. So there are the major expenses, but let's run down some of the kind of smaller but still expense items that might relate here just to Northern Colorado, but also wherever you're gonna be. So we have a 2-car household. We have a truck and a Telluride and an umbrella policy with a $1,000 deductible, and we pay about $250 per month for our insurance coverage, which is comprehensive coverage, not just collision. One of my bigger expenses with our family, and I've got this for the next 26 years, is our health insurance. And hopefully we can figure out this because it is quite expensive for us. We have a $6,000 deductible per person with a $13,000 maximum out of pocket for the family. We have a family of 5. We pay $1,400 per month. And this year when we had Boone, I had a surgery myself. It's been quite expensive. So health insurance is a big cost for us here in Northern Colorado and for my family. And lifestyle is a huge thing here in Fort Collins, and a lot of people have their dogs. So one of the videos we did recently is don't move here if you can't stand these things, and one of them is having a dog. So we have dog food that we pay for and then vet bills. And so we have about $250 per month in animal expenses. Our gym membership is through Genesis. We go to Genesis South, Genesis Fort Collins Club, and there's a Genesis North. We have a family of 5 membership. We have a 2-person membership with 3 child care memberships that equate to about $160 per month for my family of 5. Now, you could go to a more affordable gym like Crunch Fitness and get a individual plan for about $30 per month for your gym membership. Now, a lot of people put their gym memberships on hold throughout the summer because there's just so much to do. You go out biking, running, go get a workout at a park or whatever. So there is ways to offset some of those costs as well. And then finally, the cell phone bill. We have 5 lines with our business through Verizon, and we pay about $280 per month for an unlimited plan. So there you have it, folks. The cost of living in Fort Collins in 2022. We have seen this inflation go up between 8 to 9% over the last few months, and it has increased the cost of gas, the cost of groceries, the cost of vehicles. Our housing has increased, our interest rates have increased. So it's definitely an expensive time to be living right now. But hopefully Fort Collins is able to kind of offset these things with some really intentional plans like we are doing with the property tax rate reduction a little bit, and then ride Fort Collins for free on public transportation. So there are definitely things that Fort Collins and Northern Colorado are trying to do, but unfortunately a lot of the cost of labor, materials, grocery are out of the control, and the demand of housing is definitely strong here in Northern Colorado, which is also driving some of those prices of housing and rental rates. Hopefully this video has helped you make whatever decision that is that you're looking at making. If you guys have any questions about Northern Colorado, definitely feel free to reach out. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, comment, maybe even share it with a friend. And again, we are licensed realtors here in Northern Colorado. So if you're looking at moving, buying, selling, or investing, reach out to us, give us a call, text, or email, and we've got your back. Until next time, guys, take care.